They are caving into me while I am craving you, and just the two of us on this humming wire. You are on my mind. Now there is no better time, no better time, no better time, no better time to say goodbye.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Beyond Survival table, where we are talking to artists and musicians and thinkers, philosophers, intentional souls who are working in the space of going beyond survival.
Yeah.
I'm Geraldine, your host. This is Kelli, my co-host.
Hi everyone.
Gizmo, Superhost.
Superhost in the background, who's already passed out because it's late.
Stephanie Davis, our producer, in the background. I'd like to welcome Elk Bell to our table. Welcome so much.
Thank you.
Hi, gorgeous girl.
Hello. Hello.
Heads up, I've known Elk Bell for a while, so we're not strangers.
Yeah.
No.
So Elk is a songwriter and a musician, and she has an album coming out, which is very exciting. So we're announcing that, which is a coup for us.
Yeah.
And I've been listening to your music, Elk, and I love it.
Thank you.
I know we were introduced to your music because Kelly's used it for the Holiday Island piece
Biennale,
for the
remember?
when we were working on the
Yes.
Venice Biennale.
Yeah.
So I was very familiar with Elk's voice, put it that way.
Yeah.
And we loved that song. And it was perfect for that.
Daisy gets to have the whole episode to herself, everything from beginning to end.
All about me.
Yeah, absolutely all about you. And yeah, it's amazing how, and I think both those little singles, one was Holiday Island, what was the other one I posted? Oh, Sway. I love that song. I love that song so much. And they've got like 8,000 views or something now. Maybe more, I don't know. Every time I look back. Anyway, it's good. It's very good.
Thanks, Kelly.
So-
You've always been such a huge supporter of mine. I'll never forget, for many years, you've always supported me, like, in a big way. So from booking me to play the markets and with the videos, you're always reaching out and supporting, and I really appreciate it.
The reason why I support Elk Bell and have from day one is because the music is bloody brilliant. She's a really awesome singer-songwriter. I've always been a great supporter of female singer-songwriters, particularly. And you have a particular style that I think is unique. I love to support people like you because I've always been invested in supporting particularly people who do originals. That's the bottom line. Because there's not enough of that in Australia. People, especially Perth, is mad on cover bands and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could change that.
I'd love to know your background, though. Where did you start in music? Let's go way
back.
Like, how did
Couple of
you
years
even
ago.
know that you were a singer-songwriter?
Yeah,
Elk Bell?
how did that start?
Let's go to the beginning.
I remember we always had a piano in the house because my mum was a piano teacher for just a couple of years. She played piano as a child, and then she taught piano, but she never wrote. Like she only ever played what was in front of her, and then she stopped teaching, and then she stopped playing. So it's like we had the piano in the house, but it wasn't really used. And I vividly remember being maybe about 4 and 5 and just going behind, we had this beautiful 70s green couch and there was a beautiful wall cabinet, and I'd just go between this narrow little area and go and hide in there with a little tape deck that I wish I knew where that was now, because it was my best friend for, I just got all emotional thinking about it just then, really.
So you used to play into that tape deck?
Yeah, I would just sing little tunes into it because I didn't have a guitar then and I wasn't playing the piano, so I would just be there singing little songs into it from a really young age.
Yeah.
And I think I felt safe. I wasn't confident. I was very shy, and I think being behind in that little nook, I didn't really want anyone to hear me. Yeah. I just wanted to be there by myself.
So it was play for you. Really.
Yeah, and it was one of those, it had the tape, and I just remember the record with the red button and the play and having to press down them both. And I'd record and then I'd stop and rewind and listen, and God, those tapes got a hammering and it never stopped. So I gradually, Mum taught me a few little things on piano, and then I think I've always been drawn to music. So in primary school, they had clarinet, so I took up the clarinet. It was either clarinet or trumpet, so I took clarinet. And then in high school, I went and had there was a piano teacher that would come out, so in my lunch break, I'd go and have some piano lessons with them.
What school did you go to? Yeah.
John Wollaston in Kelmscott.
Oh gosh, okay, out there.
Yeah.
I was out there in my teenage years out that
Were
way,
you?
Clifton Hills. Yeah, we had 10 acres and horses and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I knew that.
Yeah.
But
Although,
yeah.
hang on a second.
There's
I don't know
bit of an
whether
age
this on
gap.
camera. Yeah, I was about to say, how old are you? Someone asked me that the other day and I said, oh, hello.
49.
I was close. I said, I think she's got to be at least around 50.
Yeah, January I'll be 50.
And I was like, all right, actually,
So what was the step? Oh, actually,
So I was learning classical piano and I really got into it. I loved it. I would play for hours every day and I just got lost in playing classical piano. But then I just got to one point where I wanted to write songs, and I think I was ingrained in playing what was written in front of me, that I didn't really know how to improvise. I couldn't write. So I just bought a guitar from the swap meet, like $20 or something from the swap meet, and started. And that was great because I didn't have lessons, but I obviously knew music and had a feel for music. So I would just learn cover songs and then learnt a few chords. Yeah. And then that was great because once I knew a few chords on the guitar, it was quite free. I wasn't constrained with you weren't
having to think about
playing note for note in front of me. So I would just strum away, and that's when I started writing on that, and that was great. And then years later, so I stopped playing piano, and then years later I sat down at the piano and I instantly just started writing on piano as well. I had that. It was that.
Do you think that was like a confidence thing that the guitar gave you with your words?
Yeah, there was a confidence, and I think I'd just broken that rigidity perhaps with sitting down and the piano being note for note playing it. So I just freed up and just started playing a few chords and then started writing on piano, and that was wonderful.
Did you just go straight into songwriting, or did you lead up with writing notes on the side or poems or stories, or were you a writer first, or did it just come with music?
I'd say my writing is very much melody focused. I'm very much into a melody, and most of my songs, all of my songs I would say, start with a melody, which is probably one of your questions as well, maybe how I write. But it's, I just get a melody in my head and then want to nut it out on whatever instrument, because I hear it and go, oh, this would be great on piano, or this would be great on guitar, or maybe I'm playing around on the guitar and something comes. But the lyrics is always a later, something that comes later. Yeah, and I slot it into the melody. Yeah.
So I'm assuming you've probably been vegan for a while.
For many years.
I will let Geraldine continue with your question.
Well, so you didn't necessarily. So I did music in high school, and we got lots of opportunities because I went to Perth Mod. And I did a music scholarship. And
what's your name?
Oboe.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I don't quite have the embouchure anymore. I can play it a little bit.
Yeah.
But we were in band and concert and choir, and we had a lot of experience. By the time I'd left high school, I went into the Philharmonia Orchestra.
Wow.
Which is Little Lejo. Well, how did you get into performing? Because for me, it was just that's it. You just do it, basically. And I am not a natural performer. I would get very nervous going on the stage, and then as an adult, I was just, no, you can't put me up on a stage. Sometimes but I like to improvise.
Okay.
That's because I can't remember words of songs to save my life.
Okay.
Which I'd love
I'll
to
give
talk
you
to
on
you
that
about.
one.
How do you remember the words of songs? But it's not very natural to me, that side of it.
Yeah.
But how did you get the experience performing?
Yeah, I'm the same, not natural. For me, it was and still is about the writing. It's all about the writing. For me, it's that side, the writing. And then I just got to a point where I was like, I probably should go out and perform some of these, just almost like a marker or a way to move on. And
material?
yeah, but very nervous. So I just looked up some open mic night that happened around town, and I would just no. I just started going to them. That was my first step. I was like, I'm just going to go, and I would go by myself because my friends weren't really into music or playing, so I would just go by myself and I'd sit there and watch everyone else. And to the point where I was going to this one at the Grosvenor Hotel regularly every Sunday. Yep. And I was going, and then I think sometimes I would take my guitar, but I'd just sit there in the corner. And then week after week.
Noticed?
And then one day the organizer was like, hey, noticed someone's pulled out. Do you want to play? And I thought, oh, God. So I got up and I remember that. And I remember being on stage and I remember thinking the entire time, just stop. Like, you're shaking so much. You should just stop and get off. Like, the entire time I was just shaking so much. But I got through it and I did it. And then I went and I found that even now, if I do it regularly enough, that's cool, that's fine. Yeah. But if I leave it for a long period of time, that's when, it sets in. But I wish some people are just like, put me on stage, I'm a performer, I'm not that person. But now it's just after doing it, I do feel very comfortable on stage now, as long as there's not a massive break.
So you pushed yourself forward, basically.
And
you knew you had something to offer and you went and trialled it on the audiences.
Even though I was incredibly nervous and all of that, I'd still got to a point where, okay, I'm ready for that next little thing. And it had to be an open mic night, just small, just 3 songs because I love open mics because everyone who's there is either performing and they're new, like it's either their first performance or early days, or they're their friends. So it's a very accepting, beautiful audience. If you muck up, it really doesn't matter. Yeah. They're very supportive. And some of my best friends I made then, there's Dave Mann, he's still kicking around, and we met then, Emily Barker, and she's fabulous, and we met at open mics, and Matt Cowell and Dave Roberts. So there's all these people that I met back then at these open mics because they'd all go to them the same, or we'd all meet up at the same open mics week after week and became friends, and they're still doing music as well. We're all still doing it and loving it. Yeah.
And a lot of original music, I guess. Some food from can we
would you like to have
we can help yourself, but if there's anything here that you'd like to I don't know, partake in.
Thank you.
I just had a little taste of this, and that is
it's
really
so
yummy.
They're delicious.
They
I had
are
one of those before.
They're really good.
Hummus.
Food break.
Beautiful.
Okay. Is it
just on camera?
Yeah.
I was going to say that anyway. I realised how that came about, but that was going to be my reaction anyway.
Yes.
And then moving towards albums, which is a major achievement. I can't imagine putting all your songs together.
Yeah.
How do you? So is this the 3rd album in?
That I'm recording now, yes. It should be the 5th or 6th, but it's the 3rd. It's where things are at.
Now, going back to that question, as a child, you obviously were just attracted to, maybe it was that privacy thing where you got just to hide out and do your own thing and experiment, and I used to do that with drawing.
Yeah. And it's what I still do now.
Yeah, and even writing.
Yeah.
Even writing. I used to always have a book next to my bed that I would, probably from teenage years more than early primary, I probably did a lot of that drawing, but it was my way of going into a corner and just blocking the world out. I could zone out.
Immersive play, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's almost it's a meditative process.
It is.
By the sounds of it.
Just immerse yourself in it for hours, and hours just disappear, and you do that.
When I was listening to your music, I was saying it was very calming. I've always felt like I was listening to a meditation in a way.
Right.
It was very therapeutical. I don't know if you've had that comment before.
I haven't.
I don't think it's your...
I haven't, but I love it.
Yeah, it's your songwriting, your voice. The guitar work is superb. in the, I don't know, it's
Certainly a
just
lot
something
more
very,
talented than
I
a
found
lot
it
of people out there who've
therapeutical.
got, like, that have, I don't know, that maybe names that people know. Like, I often find that, especially in this community in Perth, there seems to be a good deal of very talented female singer-songwriters. It's unique. I didn't find it in Melbourne, didn't find it in London, didn't find it in New York. Like, New York is different. It's like it's a whole gamut of talent sort of thing. But it's a unique sound.
So did you come back to some sort of study, or have you always been more self-taught, and more, have you learnt through working with other people? Because I noticed you have worked with a lot of duos, and as Kelly was mentioning, with different other female artists.
Like after the mic nights, where did you go from there? What was the trajectory from?
Yeah, after the open mic nights, just writing, that's never stopped. And I don't think it ever will stop. And I always say I'll be writing when I'm 90 and beyond. That's the
beautiful.
most important to me. I have to write. I think it's every day I pick up my guitar and I play and I write almost every day. Not through force, but just, I think it's just what you do. If you make that part of your life, every day you do it, it's just so natural to do that. And that's just, and I have to do that. I don't know. I think I'd be a hot mess. If I didn't do that all the time, I don't know what condition I'd be in, but I make time for that. It's number one priority for me, that writing.
Is music
it has
in
to
your
happen.
genetic somehow? Is there? I know you said your mum was
not so much
briefly a piano teacher.
Yeah, not
maybe
really.
It's a cultural side or some sort of background. And
no one else in my family that I know of plays or sings.
Oh, wow.
Seen if there's any...
Yeah, none of my grandparents.
So no one
any music.
no one that you're aware of.
No one that I'm
family
aware
on
of.
either side.
Yeah, no aunties or anything. Yeah.
How interesting.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Can you tell us a bit more about the new album that you're writing?
Yeah, I guess there's been big gaps because the first one was 2011 and then 2017, and it's
So maybe
mostly.
She does markers and then 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to move into, I think I'm going to be releasing a lot more frequently from here on in. This one comes out. Yeah, it's just, so the first album I did in a house in Sydney, and it was a friend of a friend's, so it was a home in his house, and we recorded it, and then we listened back and there was all these birds in the background that we had to try and edit out, which in hindsight might have been okay to leave them in, but there was a lot of it, and it was driving him nuts. I remember him saying, "Oh, it's more birds." So that was recorded in Sydney, and then the second one I recorded with my dear friend Matt Johnson, and we started that. That took years. We started that in a studio in Leederville, and then that studio closed.
Wow.
And from that point on, I think we ended up recording it in lots of different places. So some of it was recorded in the studio on Carr Street, and then some of it was recorded at the Astor Theatre upstairs.
No, that would
there
be
was
nice.
there was a room upstairs that they took on for a while and set up as a studio. So some of it was recorded in there.
Was that good? Acoustics?
Yeah, it was beautiful. And then some of it was recorded up in Rolling Stone. So it was just this. It was just this process that took a really long time. And then that was released. And then I think I was doing gigs. So that was 2017. I was doing gigs up until March 2020, and then that all stopped. I did my gig at the Bassendean Hotel the weekend of it all, and that was what everyone was talking about at that show, what's going to happen. And then I think they cancelled the gigs the next night or something. That was the last weekend of shows. So then life got a bit crazy.
I was going to say, because musicians were not supported. Their businesses, their contribution to our communities was not supported at all by the government. It was crickets.
But they did.
So how did you get through that?
I didn't do any shows for a long time. I stopped then, and my first show back was the end, I think September, October 2024. That was when it just, I got out of that zone, and it took everything to get back into it. It was just like, I just felt completely out of it. I was still writing the whole time. I never stopped writing, because that's number one. But then I just got to the point where I was like, okay, I have to book a gig. And that was the end of 2024. And then, 2025, I feel like I was getting back into the swing of it. And
what's different now? Like you were just saying, you think that you might be producing more often? than you have in the past. What's changed now for you from those earlier days of the first and second album?
I think a need. Like the writing's never stopped. That's always been there, but it's just something where time just seems to disappear. And everyone I know making albums, often it takes longer and it's expensive. So it financially was an issue, recording albums. That was an issue and that delayed things as well. So I think now I've just been working and got myself into a place where I'm like, yeah, I just have to do this. Like for the next 10 years, the output has to skyrocket.
And this is why, guys, we need to support our local artists.
Absolutely.
But how amazing would it be if we supported our artists, guys?
Yeah.
You were telling me, which country was it that have just officially...
Ireland?
Ireland, that's right. Yeah, Derek was talking about that the other day. I've got friends over from Ireland.
So they trialled it, 2,000 artists on a living wage.
Yes.
And they've rolled out, I think they've increased it by 10% because they could see just how beneficial it was. And I love that because in Ireland they really do value music.
Yes.
And I do think we have a bit of that culture here, but unlike like in Ireland, you can feel and hear everybody supporting that, the whole community. It's the greater community, not just the little eco kind of communities. Here it tends to be little kind of silos and eco communities on their own. You can see there's a bit of cross-discipline sort of stuff happening now, which is nice. Don't know where that'll go, but it's good that it's happening. But I do feel really deeply that it is up to us from here on out. I just don't think we're going to see the same support in the arts anywhere.
Yeah. And that's what I just really want. I often lament and think how many people have stopped doing it. What are we missing out on?
So, they try, obviously, you get jobs if you can in some sort of creative pursuit or something within your own sort of system. But it's not an easy road. It's not an easy road because most of the time, most of us you get home from work and you don't feel like picking up the paintbrush, or in your case, sitting down, maybe you're right, but it's a lot of energy, isn't it? Yeah.
So do you write for other musicians? I was curious about that.
I have started, I never did that, and it's still, I've started in the last year, found myself writing songs, and when I'm writing some songs, I go, this is a song for me and Hugh. I could do this is a song, I could do this with Glenn, or this is one I could do with Oceanique. Some of these people don't know about it yet, but I've written all these songs, and that's what I would really love to do, is record it with these. Actually, I started recording with Hugh and I've started recording with Glenn, so it's just, I said, look, no pressure, but here's some songs if you want to do it, if you like to. And they both said, I'd love to. Yeah. So, we're doing that. And I'm really excited about that.
Is that separate from the album?
It'll be separate, yes. Yeah. But it'll be,
nicer,
Yeah, it is. I'm really excited about doing that. And this album I'm recording with a guy, Paul Woody, at and it was an awesome day. And I didn't really know what to... With the previous albums, I had a real feel and idea of all the other instrumentation. So when I played it, I could hear, drums and piano or whatever. And with this one, I haven't. And I've just thought, I'm going to leave that because he's very creative and got lots of great ideas, multi-instrumentalist and played in bands his whole life. So that day was really fun because all his ideas I really loved. So when he pulled out an instrument and did something, I was like, that sounds great. And he had an extra guitar. So that was a lot of fun. So we're recording tomorrow. It's day 2.
Oh, brilliant.
Nice.
Day 2.
Because I think the last time I talked to you when we were talking about you coming on here and telling your story, you were going into the studio for the first time.
Yes.
The next day. So the day you're talking about. Yeah.
That was day 1.
And then you also went on tour, didn't you?
Yeah, I got back on Sunday night, so I went over to Victoria and did a couple of shows with Glenn Musto. So we did just a couple of shows over the weekend, and so we're doing some recording together as well and go over there. It's the second time I've done it. We're going to do it again in October, and he owns and runs an animal sanctuary, like animal rescue. It's a sanctuary of sentient beings, so it's for animals and for people to spend time in nature and maybe restore if the animals are injured. But so there's some farm animals, but also the idea of a sanctuary for koalas, so there's been a lot of tree planting because it backs onto a national park. So the idea is once there, they can just wander off themselves back into the bush. So we spend a bit of time doing that. I've been digging up weeds, this serrated tussock in New South Wales. It's really, so I had this big mattock that I've been digging up weeds, and then we do music in the evening, record some songs and do gigs on the weekend, and it's great.
Yeah.
I love it because being, I don't know, getting into physical labour and out in nature, it's really good.
How does that play? Because I know that younger people coming through now that may be listening to this, how do you balance your life between what you need to do to pay the bills? I know you've got a history there. And then what are you doing today? And what's different today? Does being older help? Are you more established, or is it still the same? Or as in more established in...
Especially not at a young age. I always thought, in my mind, I was thinking I'm going to be doing this forever, and I think I'm going to be doing a lot more when I'm older. That was always in my mind. I was like, there's no rush. This is just something to do forever. So I knew I had to work a lot.
You had this talent, you were saying, I want to go out and be famous, which is what the kids do.
Yeah, not at all.
Big mistake.
Yeah.
But they think more about the fame than they do the work.
Yeah.
It's probably been universal though. I'm sure there's people
right
my age
a lot
was
of that's
like
to do with the media and stuff like that.
But that's always been a thing if you're going into an art field, that there's some people who do just want to be well known, then some people who just want to be, it's all diverse.
Just be good musicians.
Learn and they craft and then work their craft basically.
Yeah, I just had to make sure I got to a place where I could do it, where I could sustain it, and be able to do it.
So how did you do that?
That's always been a thing if you're going into an art field, that there's some people who do just want to be well known, then some people who just want to be, it's all diverse.
Just be good musicians.
Learn and they craft and then work their craft basically.
Yeah, I just had to make sure I got to a place where I could do it, where I could sustain it, be able to do it.
So how did you do that? Give everyone a bit of an insight into what was your trajectory. What did you do after high school? Did you study anywhere else? And then what did you do after that? And meanwhile, while you were writing all the time, and
I did lots of things coming out of. I studied did a Bachelor of Communications.
So there's that authenticity there. You're not performing to an agenda as such. You're just really in the flow of it.
Yeah. But I do have the albums mapped out. So after this one, I've got another 2 that are pretty solid. Like the songs are written, the format. It's just the financial side, really, to be able to.
Just going back to, so you got the song. The songs came naturally. I'd say your writing's natural for you. It's a daily activity that you're doing. You're always going to have a wealth of material that you've got to work with, and then so your challenge is more about finding time and being financially secure so that you can focus on creating the music with the words that you've written, rather than worrying about how am I going to pay the electricity bills and stuff.
Yeah.
So you're letting the creative side flow, really. I was just wondering, are you always kind of playing and always singing, and is there always a thought, a thought form, or
often? My phone,
I can hear
the voice notes, the voice memos. My phone is out of control. They're just I'll be every day, something, and then I'm like, oh, where did that come from? I'll just record that little idea, and it's so much fun to work on it. You came to me like the glistening sea. You came along like the words to their song. Well, I've been lonely once before. Now I'm back here again. You are just an echo in my mind, and I am hunting not for more, just the same things as you, but happy to remain as just the two of us. On this humming wire, you are on my mind. Now there is no better time, no better time to say goodbye. Oh, you came to me like the glistening sea. Oh, you came along like the words to the song. Well, I have been here once before. Now I'm back here again, walking on the tightrope in my mind, and I am stuck inside these walls. They are caving into me, while I am craving you and just the two of us. On this humming wire, you are on my mind. Now there is no better time, no better time, no better time, no better time to say goodbye. Oh, you came to me like the glistening sea. Ooh, oh, you came along like the words to this song.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, so beautiful.
Oh, you got me crying, girl.
Got me
Oh,
crying.
my eyes out. Beautiful. That was just beautiful. Just stunning. Just stunning.
Thank you.
I'm the one who usually
This
cries.
is every time I listen to your music, I have this effect.
Oh,
That's why I've always loved your work.
thank
So this is
you.
I can feel everything that you have written in that. Every emotion that you felt writing that, I can feel it.
Yeah, that's going on the next album. That's and that's a song that we started recording for the day one.
Okay.
That's the one we've started with, and that we'll work on tomorrow, and probably, hopefully, I'll do the vocals tomorrow and maybe add
We
some
need
bits.
to ask where it came from. I have a fair idea, but I know I'm just like, Elk Bell's work
Did
just
you
always
mean
has
crying,
this effect on
Kel?
me. I know, sorry.
Yeah.
It's my job.
No.
So, yeah, where it came from, I was in a beautiful, perfect, wonderful relationship. And as we were living together, and as years went on, he wanted a family. And it's just such a bizarre concept to me. I know it's perfectly normal to most people, but for me, it was just like, oh, It's almost like asking when I'm going to become an astronaut or do some other wild thing. And so I seriously considered it for a while because he's the man of my dreams, and I thought we'd live together forever and die together. But yeah, it just got to a stage where I had to part ways, which was just awful. So in that song, it's called Humming Wire, and it's the lyrics. I imagine two little birds sitting up on the power line together, and just the two of us up on the humming wire. We separated. He moved out 10 years ago. I ran into him last year in IGA.
I was going to ask,
of all places.
In contact?
We did for a little while, but then it's too hard. Yeah, so I ran into him in IGA, and I really wanted to ask if he was seeing someone. So I was really surprised. I was like, what? We've been apart
10 years.
Like, what?
So another question that won't go on this as well. So did you find him still attractive?
Oh.
You saw him 10 years later?
Oh.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, same feelings.
Oh, yeah. And it was lovely because when we saw each other, it was weird. I was walking out of IGA and he was walking in. I hadn't seen him for years. And so we just saw, it was sort of like this, oh my God. And then we just hugged each other and then had a brief chat because we have, doing other things. And then when we left, another beautiful big hug, and it was just so nice, so loving and really lovely. Because we ended on very good terms.
Do you know if he's like with someone?
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
Yeah.
Think to pick up the phone and say, let's do.
I think it's in his court because it was like he was very aware that I wanted to stay
Reconnect.
together.
Yeah, but I mean, 10 years later, he may not know.
No, that's true.
He may not know whether you want to reconnect. He may think,
Matchmaker.
maybe she's never forgiven me, or who knows?
Matchmaker.
I
I think we're all crones now at giving the younger woman advice all of a sudden.
Few years. But yeah, he's just
10 years
Yeah.
later.
yeah. But over the years, it's funny though because over the years, like 3 years ago, his cousin wished me happy birthday. Then 2 years ago, his sister wished me happy birthday. Then last year, his auntie wished me like happy birthday,
still,
Stuart. And they're all in Italy, like Italian and.
But they obviously. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That doesn't come from nowhere. That's like
Maybe I
that's
should.
someone hoping. The best girl you ever dated.
I know.
The best girl you ever dated was that
So
Elk
if you
Bell.
put him in
Yeah, but-
IGA, well then that must mean he lives
Still
locally
here.
then.
It's strange, isn't it, how that stuff works? I often think about that. I'll tell you, it's a Jewish matchmaker in past life.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Tell you. But, here you are 10 years later, you bump into him, the feelings are still there. It sounds like you had similarly getting calls from his family out of kind of context.
Yeah.
So my question to you would be if there was a potential to get back together, would you?
Oh yeah.
In a heartbeat?
Yeah. And I think it would be fine because I know like there couldn't be any resentment or anything because you've had 10 years. You could have done that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, there might be still a bit, I suppose, for what we could have had, but
You
at
just
least,
don't know.
least
Just don't
it's
know.
like, well,
Yeah.
you could have. Yeah, I definitely would be
Could have
interested.
always, could have, should have, you just don't know that stuff. I think that's the unknown,
Yeah.
that you step into out of a leap of faith.
Yeah. So we'll see. If it did happen, I'd be a happy gal.
No.
Well,
But-
why don't you take the initiative and give him a call and say, let's do lunch. Let's just catch up on each other's lives. What have you been up to? What have I been up to?
Auntie Kelly said.
Maybe next year. I just have. I've got
Get her album done
That
first.
was
Yes.
No
yeah,
distractions.
I've got my goals, and
Yeah.
like I've got my plans
Goals are
to go to
good.
the east and do
In the
that stuff.
meantime,
So
we have to say cheers.
Cheers.
because
Yeah.
I felt everything
yeah,
Oh.
that you felt writing that song. It was very. I mean, I've always had that visceral experience. Yeah, if you knew how many times I played your song and sang out my top of my lungs around this house, you'd be horrified probably. But
that's so good.
and but also a lot of friends are like, "Who is this?" When they start singing, all they don't even know who they're singing along to, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Especially Holiday Island, because I think everybody in our little ecosystem overseas as well.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be looking out for you because I've seen some of the venues you played, and I've been to those venues.
But we'll have
I just haven't
Well, I've got one
seen you
coming
when
up.
you're playing at those venues.
If I can get there on my little Harley Davidson out there, I do have my new wheelchair too, though. I could hang out in that as well.
The Lyric Lane is the most beautiful venue.
And I was just going to say, because this will come out after that, so that's the 23rd of April, but we might be able to...
I'll miss that.
But maybe...
They always go over.
Always.
Or actually, depending on the date, because I've got that run down south, but maybe it'll come out too late to promote that, because that's the 30th of April to the 3rd of May. Will this come out after that?
No, before.
Oh, okay.
That's what
Usually
that's our job,
release-
to support artists in whatever way we can.
Yeah.
So
Because I could just mention those. Shall I just mention them now?
yeah,
Well,
100%.
So where are you playing and what are you, where can people see you? 'Cause
Yeah. Do you know when you're going to do the launch of the album, or
So
not so much yet?
Not so much. The next gig, which I think might have passed, 23rd of April. So that would be Lyric Lane, but that might have passed. And then, depending on when this comes out. But otherwise, there's
And
a
is
little...
that who are you playing with? The Lyric
I'm
Lane?
supporting a local band, This Killing Frost, Julian Boliter and Andrew Ewing. They've been around the local scene for a long time. So they invited me to support... Oh, do you?
Yeah. No, not well, but yes, I know him as a musician and also in his academic work.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I've done some stuff with him and a guy called Benedict Maletta. So we both perform with him as well. So there's that on the 23rd of April. And then I'm doing a run of shows with a little Southwest tour with Hugh Jennings, who's an amazing artist. So we're doing the Thursday the 30th down in Denmark at Bar Tarifa.
Beautiful.
We're doing the Friday the 1st at Wilson's in Albany. And the 2nd in Bridgetown at Karma Lama Records, I think it is. And then the Sunday the 3rd at the River in Woodchuck, Market River.
Is there somewhere that people can go and pre-buy the tickets?
Yes, there is. So
I'll put that in the descriptions, guys, so that you can just click the link. And this is an opportunity, if you live Perth locally, to support people like Elk Bell. Go there. If you can go.
Yeah.
And where are you playing on the 23rd of April?
At Lyric Lane
Lyric,
in
okay.
Maylands.
Which is our little haunt,
We should
Steph
get
and I.
tickets.
And that's Julian's.
Yeah,
So he'll be playing.
together.
if I'm around, I'll...
Awesome.
Yeah.
You can ring them and book, and you can
we do all
reserve a
that.
spot.
You
Yeah.
don't need to worry.
It's the
Okay.
best
All
venue
right, on
to
that
listen
note,
to.
I'm
isn't
going
it?
to run.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
you want
Lovely cake. We're
Mind
going
up.
to Mandra tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it won't
Right.
last.
All right, then don't eat the cake.
But if there's anything left on Tuesday, I might have some on Tuesday.
I don't know, maybe
But it
left
was
on
lovely
Tuesday
to
after
meet
the
you.
weekend.
Oh, you do,
Easter
in
weekend.
person?
Yes, we'll see you on the 23rd.
This is,
Yeah,
I
thank you.
sometimes include her exit on an episode just to see the producer has left the building.
Yeah.
I have been here since 8 a.m. and it's now 7 p.m. She won't let me leave. I have to leave.
Hotel California, such a
And now I'm
lovely
going to get to
place.
death by the dog.
So I'll see you down in Mandurah.
It literally is the Hotel California here.
Yeah. All right, so
you can check out, but you can never leave.
See you, Steffi.
See you.
See you, lovely.
See you, Gizzy.
That's literally what the girls say. It's like when the song new starts, they say, "You do realise it's the Hotel California. There's no leaving this building."
See
ya.
Forever.
Did you say you have to go to Mandurah?
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
She's
No,
got
no,
a...
tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I need to go and buy some food now.
Right.
So I can't.
There's a cake.
Tomorrow.
You know, you've always got IGA 24 down there.
Yes, I know, but I also got to go home and see.
I know. I'm not stopping you from going. I'm just saying.
There she is.
I'm gonna get out of here. No, I don't. Well, no, I do. All right. Oh.
All right, lovely
Yes.
Stephanie.
Okay. Well, you've
Thank
been
you
going
all.
for quite some time anyway. So.
I know.
I reckon we cut the cake and maybe one more
Yeah.
song and then we say
Oh.
goodnight. What do you think?
Can I leave with you, please?
I would love to hear one more song.
I'll
Yeah.
cut the cake while.
Oh,
Okay. You don't have
Yeah.
to do another newbie. You can
Should
do
we? Should I bring this all the way down?
See you.
Okay. Oh, the cake is heavy.
It is.
Bye.
Go there. Just put it there.
Yep.
Now, do you want to do the honours?
I can do.
Oh, here you
I
go.
don't know what to. Yeah, let's work
What's
this
your
out.
wish, Elk Bell? I've got a wish
Oh.
for you.
Oh, I know. I think I know what.
maybe we should get Elk Bell to pull the first one down. Oh, no,
All right,
okay,
here we
Josh is
go.
going for you.
No, you can wish and watch. Gee, it's a little bit of a skew if. Hey, I know. I feel like it's every time with a cake this size, like it's. When's your birthday?
January.
It's already gone. Mine's was in
I do
February.
make very big.
It's
I don't know
huge.
I always do 2 layers. They look spectacular on the
They
top.
do
Yeah.
look
What can I
spectacular.
say?
I just don't know how I could get through it.
Well, it's a very thin piece. Hopefully it tastes well enough that you want to take some home.
Hopefully it makes it out without sort of. But I think pretty
You're right.
fabulous.
Here,
Wowee, look at that.
look
Oh,
at that.
Oh no!
holy smokes.
I think I should get the orange
Didn't-
glaze or
didn't they
something.
know that the icing is coconut
no,
milk,
it doesn't. I don't
coconut
know.
cream, because the syrup is really nice.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never had a vegan cake before, so I don't know what it's meant to taste
I
like.
always get kisses. Am I getting kisses? Am I getting kisses?
Yeah. Part of the family
Yeah,
now.
I'll go
haven't-
and get them.
I'll get close.
Syrup.
Before Elk Bell plays again.
I haven't played any of my old songs for a while, so
Oh.
I'll have a little play while we just eat and chat. And sway now with me. Let's go outside and waltz around the trees and laugh out loudly as we do our dance not so gracefully. Let's prance and kick up the leaves and savor these moments tenderly. Right now might be all we have, but how we're living it now, I'm so glad. Sway side to side, this pleasure we sought out, it feels so right. And as the years become late, our minds will flash back to these sweet days. So prance and kick up the leaves and savor these moments tenderly. Right now might be all we have, but how we're living it now, I'm so glad. So sway around now with me and savor these moments tenderly. Right now might be all we have, but how we're living it now, I'm so glad.
Oh, just beautiful.
I remembered it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well done. If only you knew how many times I listened to that song.
Well, that's what I was wondering. I was like, has he heard it? And we're like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
I know this
He's
song,
heard it,
but
only when I play it on like YouTube,
yeah.
and I'm playing it over and over, and I like when
Yeah.
I can hammer a song.
Yes.
Just like that, I can just skip.
I had to hit her because she started to sing and I really just wanted to hear.
Yeah, I get
You
that.
immediately
I get
stopped,
that.
but I was like,
That's all good. I understand. Perfectly
you did immediately, I know.
You had to put up with me singing on.
Did you recognise
I
it
edited
though?
most of it out. I hope you noticed I did edit most of it out. I was just feeling this, the nostalgia of, you know, like wondering if ever we'll get to live a life uncommon again, you know, because that's what that whole song was about, you know. Choose kind of love over fear, really.
Yeah.
You know, and she was speaking very much from a creative perspective. It was when she was writing songs out of the back of her van, living out of her van at the back of a restaurant.
No.
So who's
Jewel.
Oh, right.
She
Yes.
did mention, yes.
Yes, okay.
I knew because we, it was
Yeah, because you probably heard me
Yeah.
play and all.
And
Look
I
at the
don't
beautiful
know.
colouring, guys.
It was, yes, this
With all
is
the lights off, look at that out.
Oh, it's beautiful.
this
Isn't
is
that
our
gorgeous?
nighttime
Now
table.
this feels like a supper club.
It does. Sit,
When I'm
sit,
looking
sit.
there, I don't know
No,
what it
you need to
looks
sit.
like.
Sit.
But on
Sit
camera,
in.
looking in here now, it looks
Here's my
very much
seat.
like
You need to
my
sit.
supper club, but a little bit
Yeah.
Good
brighter.
boy. Good boy.
A little bit brighter.
It does
I don't
look
know if we
beautiful.
should ask, but well, there was 2 questions we were thinking out.
Oh, okay. More questions. Okay, yes,
Well,
yes.
just quickly, we will do an
Yeah.
outro, but
Yes.
we were. One was
Mm-hmm.
if your music was a dish or some sort of food, what do you think your
That's a good question.
food?
Geraldine.
Yeah, what sort of dish would your
Yes,
music
it-
be?
please,
And I know because you know when
Sit.
I was listening to your music, you need to sit.
Yes.
Gizmo. When I was listening to your
sit down.
music,
Come on.
you know, I was listening to all your songs, and I
Yeah.
just got a real sense of and feel and the pace and the rhythm, and you know, it's just
I
yeah.
know you've been
I mean, I know how I would describe it. How would you describe your music if it was a dish?
If it was a
Would it be
dish,
vegan?
would it be vegan? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A vegan dish?
Wow, that's a hard
Would it be your favourite
question.
dish? Is there a correlation?
That's a really good question. I didn't see you write that one down.
It's a
Steph wrote that actually.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a great question. Oh,
It's just a fun question, isn't it? You know, it's like
yeah. Look, off the cuff, I'm gonna say. Well, I'm just gonna say this thing called. I don't know how well known it is because I've got Sri Lankan heritage. My mum's Sri Lankan,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna say a lamprey, which is like a
Yep.
parcel, and I think you get them in maybe Malaysia or something has something similar as well, but in Sri Lanka, lamprey, and it's made up of just all little bits. And I remember my grandma making them, so it's a labour of love, you know, over many days making.
Is it
And
a sweet?
No, it's all savoury. So, and I think, anyway, there's usually about, now I'd have to have a vegan option, but growing up it was like 3 different meats usually. So cooked in a different way. So maybe some pork, some chicken, something else, some meatballs, rice, half an egg, boiled egg, or maybe a whole boiled egg, and other little, and it's wrapped, traditionally it's wrapped in banana leaves. So you'd wrap it up in a banana leaf and you get this little parcel and then you undo it. But now more commonly in like alfoil, in a parcel, and you unwrap your parcel and then you've got all these
nice
little bits
surprises.
in there. So I guess the little bits,
how you bring
the little
things
bits
together.
are,
Mare's plate.
Oh.
yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
And how do you
And then-
lamprey?
You're doing it
Lamprey.
Lamprey.
And then you have your own. So
Yes.
everyone gets their
Oh,
own.
nice.
And then you just dig in. So, but yeah, I remember my grandma making it and over multiple days, you know, making something and then
What's
putting
the
it all
tradition
together.
behind that? Is that like what they designed to do, sort of like maybe to take on
So
a
for
picnic
special
or on a train
occasions?
ride or-
Yeah, perhaps
Like-
something like that.
Yeah.
And maybe it was also a way of I'm just making this up, but
Yeah.
using up perhaps leftovers and bits of, if you had
maybe it was
bits
a
and
bit of-
pieces of things.
I'm gonna do some history.
Yeah, do some history on that one,
Yeah,
but
nice.
it's delicious. Oh my God, it's delicious.
Oh, lovely.
You've
Just like your
given me an idea
music.
for next visit.
Oh!
I'll see if I can make you a vegan version.
Oh,
That would be so much work.
Kelly
I
the
feel like it's a lot of
Well,
work.
master
in it.
chef.
yeah, but I love that. We cooked for days before even just the podcast. You know, like this cake took what 3 days.
I wasn't involved actually.
Oh,
I'm quite often involved in the cooking of what present.
you normally you have been,
I
but
have a
now
hand
with
in it.
Oksana being here.
Yeah. The quick question.
Yep.
Or it doesn't have to be quick, but you know, we're called Beyond Survival, and we often, and that's what we're contemplating. How do we go beyond survival?
What's your version?
And I think,
Beyond
as
Survival
far
look
as what does Beyond Survival look, feel, see?
like,
What it
feel
sounds
to you?
like to you? It's not just as an expression, but as an experience. I
Being
think.
able to do what you're passionate about, what you're
Well, you
driven
pretty
to
much
do.
that.
Yeah. Well, that's all
Yeah.
I
Nothing has stopped you
see.
from doing that thus far.
No.
So, because you write every day, so even though
Yeah.
you know, like there's this time in between albums, you're still writing every day. That's, you know, but so you're living your dream.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'd like to be doing it all day, every day, but you know,
Yeah.
like
Survival
Yep.
is a very, like, survival mode is what we're all in because we're led by the masculine. As a race of beings, even females lead by their masculine for the most of the time. Most part, we everything's designed to lead by the masculine. So beyond survival, looking at it from a perspective of what is the rising of the feminine within each of us as both individuals and collective, and then the reason for the question is that everybody's version of beyond survival, if you had to take it, so for the moment you are living your dream because you get to do your art every day, and that's awesome. That's so awesome. So many artists don't get the chance to do that, or for whatever reasons. But if you were going to extend that even further into beyond survival, not being any part of your life in a survival mode, what would that look like to you? And what would that feel like to you?
doing more of it, like spending my days, long days, you know, like,
So financial freedom to
Oh,
be
yeah.
able to do,
yeah,
so that
definitely.
you didn't have to, so you could just be free to produce and write and do without expectation of anything, needing anything financially in return, so that, you know, so that kind of version is that?
Yeah, if I could just do music all day, every day. I mean, obviously, give or take, but it's kind of what I've always loved doing, and I don't really see that changing. So whether I'm sitting down at the piano, playing guitar, I'm very happy. Like, I can not go out for days. I don't have to talk to anyone
Yeah.
for days.
Totally immersed, yes.
Potentially weeks, maybe even months. I don't know. I think I could pretty much be okay as long as I got my instruments and can write. That's really all that's all a bit of food every now and then. That's all that I need.
So maybe other people performing
you're
your songs
already
as well,
moving into it,
you know.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're already
Yeah, well on your way.
moved into a space of beyond survival. But
Yeah.
I wonder
Yeah.
what that looks like on steroids. Wonder what that looks like. No, steroids is the wrong word. I wonder what that looks like unencumbered.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us know that fully yet, but it'd be nice if we did, wouldn't it?
You don't?
I think you have moments of it, but holding that space because you wake up and you know, oh, I've got to pay that electricity bill today. Oh, like for example,
Well, there's
my
house
children's
maintenance
door
or
is
there's
really
all
close
sort of...
farms.
Yeah.
That first thing I wake up now and think about is, oh, I have to get that fixed. How am I going to do that? So it interrupts that beyond survival space.
Yeah.
So even if you're having, it's a bit like meditation really. I can go and do a 10-day retreat and meditate for 10, 12 hours a day. And I used to do that every 2 years just to reboot.
Yeah.
But then you come back to so-called reality, and you wake up in the morning, and my first day back always from India is like, maybe if I can go again. Okay, get ready, let's go.
Yeah.
And I can do it, and I can be very happy. I love working no matter what.
Yeah.
Right? I've always been a person who loves to work. I don't care whether I'm doing my art or I've been blessed that I've always done jobs that I love.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that is to do with coming from a self-made family, which taught me how to be self-sufficient on being a sole trader. I never wanted to do the big business thing like Jody and Dad did.
Yeah.
But I had the goods and the knowledge to be able to be self-sufficient, so I could always do what I wanted to do. Nobody got to tell me what to do. So that's like you're saying, you woke up every day and you were doing what you wanted to do. You write every day, and that's. But I think to hold that space in a permanent kind of, I don't think any of us can do that yet. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying, just because we live in the world we live in, and we live the lives that we live, it's not that you can't be happy in that space. I mean, there's plenty of happiness in survival mode as well. But I always wonder what would it look like, what would it feel like to be completely beyond
More and
survival
more
all
of
the
us
time.
should be in beyond survival.
I'm not necessarily talking enlightenment or nirvana or any of those things. I'm just thinking about it more in pragmatic as well as spiritual, kind of mental, emotional terms. I don't know, human terms.
Yeah.
More, I'm still here in this human body, having this human experience, and if I was able to elevate beyond survival mode, what does that feel and look like? I think it's different for everybody. That's something.
Yeah, so I'm just going to say thank you very much for joining
Yeah.
us at our table and Beyond
nice.
Survival.
Well, this has been really nice for me because usually our catch-ups,
right.
sorry, Johnny, because usually our catch-ups have been, we're doing something, something's happening, and they've been. I don't think we've ever sat down and had these extended conversations.
No.
I feel like it's the first of many.
Good.
I hope.
So.
Yeah, me too.
And we always end, and I'm looking forward to hearing the album. And definitely we'll come along to one of your gigs because,
We'll
and
do a bit of
catch you
recording
live.
there, do some quick
Yeah.
But also then we'll definitely, we'll have it back soon anyway, but we'll do a presser like we're going to do for the Steffi's film. I have a little presser here.
Yeah, she does a great job, I think. Doing
It's
little
fun.
shorts,
I think it's fun.
doing the shorts of it.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Now we always end, just our little mantra is to our viewers.
Laugh so hard every day.
Just keep
Find
laughing.
a way to laugh. It's so important just to laugh, especially
And?
this crazy world we're living in at the moment. And the second thing is
Love,
that you
love,
need
love.
to love furiously,
Keep loving.
wholeheartedly,
Somehow stay loving, no matter what, unconditionally. And of course,
The
just
final
keep
piece of the puzzle is
breathing.
no matter what, you have to remember to breathe. Do that nice deep yoga breath. We always say, I want to say, just fucking breathe. But
But then we might get
try to
flagged.
restrain myself because we get flagged
Yeah,
by
that's
YouTube.
right.
So I say,
So all of that
freaking
work would be undone if we
Just-
put that in
just-
there.
we just freaking breathe. Just remember
Yes.
to breathe.
And keep having the conversations. And
Yeah.
it's so good to have music in your life. And I know it's a big part of lots of people's lives. So I'm so glad that we could introduce you to our viewers.
Yeah.
And then we just
Hey,
love,
thank
love,
you. Thank you for having me.
That's our
Yeah,
mantra.
that's
Love,
good.
love, love. Laugh,
Yeah.
love, breathe, and then love, love, love.
Or sleep, sleep,
Beautiful.
sleep, as
Sleep,
Gizmo
sleep,
is.
sleep.
He's literally,
Snoring.
he's snoring. He's so passed out.
Okay.
Kings didn't do that before.
No?
No.
No, it's the first because it is late. Yeah. Okay.
Cute.
And I was going to ask you.
Delightful. Really delightful. I've really enjoyed the. I'm
Oh, no,
enjoying these.
I'm very,
evening
very
filming.
calm.
Do you?
You've got a
good.
calmness
Do you
that
notice
is
the difference in the filming?
nighttime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like starting late afternoon and filming.
Yeah.
I quite like it.
Or
Well,
the,
I do.
or the
On
wine.
the
Yeah.
night.
Because
Yes,
I'm-
thank you for bringing
But
the
also,
wine.
I'm a night person first. Like, I'm not a morning person.
Oh, are you?
We usually, like normal sort of situation, we can be recording it.
It felt a little bit early to be
12,
having a
1 or
glass of
2,
wine, but I
but-
managed it.
Yeah, but 2 o'clock's normal, right? But
I really
the,
like red
the
wine.
last few podcasts we've had these later. I like it.
Yeah, I thought they were in there. Oh, okay, so they were a lunchtime-ish. Okay.
Yeah,
Normally 2
usually about
o'clock.
2, yeah.
High tea.
So it's just a couple of
2 o'clock.
hours later.
So
I
normally
like
2
this
o'clock.
time. I think it's nice.
do
It's got a,
Maybe we can introduce the idea of not just, okay, we've got high tea podcast sometimes, and other times we have supper.
Yeah.
Supper tea.
Well, that was felt more like a supper. Yeah.